solid colored skirt for her, and then I made more, and then I tried making jumper dresses like the one she's wearing now. And likewise, the first ones I made were solid color, but then I started putting artwork in them, like I did in my sweaters. By now we have several matching or almost matching sweaters and dresses. And she doesn't wear one of the things I made every single day, but on most days she wears one of the skirts that I knitted, and on special occasions we'll wear matching things like this. I continued to knit throughout the 2000s, but I have had some setbacks every now and then. In the late 2000s, I suffered from some major neurological problems that severely limited my ability to knit. As I was recovering, I felt very weak, uncoordinated, and I had some memory problems. This slowed me down at times, but for the most part, I continued to knit and not give up. Physical and occupational therapy were offered to me very minimally, but I found that knitting has helped my recovery and brought me a long way. And since I recovered, I've gotten back into knitting and made a lot more. In the end, there is one thing that I have changed, which is my focus. I put aside the thought of mass productions and traded it in for branding myself as an artist. I have set future goals that include continuing to knit more sweaters, just like the ones I do, getting my inspirations from all kinds of things, like the places I have traveled to, the places I wish I could travel to, just things that I see and do all the time. I plan to exhibit my works all over the world and to teach this to other people. Questions or to discuss anything they want to.
Do you usually draw a picture first, or it's just straight from your memory?
For the most part, this is straight from my memory. Like sometimes I'll have a picture of something that I want to knit, and I won't make an exact copy of that picture, but I'll just use it to capture details. Like if, for example, if I wanted to do a picture of the Meyerhoff Symphony Hall, I might have a picture of the Meyerhoff Symphony Hall that I got from the internet, and I'll put that in front of me. But I won't. And occasionally also to make really minute details that are very hard, I've had to draw them out. Like to do a mallard duck, I had to draw that out on a tiny graph that I made myself, like maybe 4 by 6 squares. Besides that, I don't. Sometimes I'll map out where I want things on something really hard. Otherwise, I don't really have the need to do that.
Sam, you know, in the garage at home, we have this ruler that one side is straight and the other side is like grades, different. Do you remember that?
No.
You said you use it in doing your knitting, but you don't remember. The one side is straight and one side is graded, like a stairway. You said that you use that kind of thing but you don't remember, do you?
There are certain measuring tools I use for knitting,
yeah.
And more often than a ruler, I use tape measures, because first of all, they're flexible and it makes them portable, and they can go longer distances than a ruler. Since I know a lot of yarns and the sizing of them, I don't need to measure much anymore if I'm making something for myself.
Sam, you said that you were in the Visionary Art Museum
Yes.
a few years ago?
That was in 2004. It was an exhibit that ran from the fall of 2004 to the fall of 2005. It was called Holy H2O, and the theme was things having to do with water. So even though these are not my best sweaters of all, Rebecca Hoffberger, who's the owner of the Visionary Arts Museum, I had met her one day and she decided on the spot she wanted some of my sweaters in the museum for that he's coming here. And she wanted those that were water themed. So I sent her pictures of all my sweaters, and these are the two that she picked out. This one has sharks, and this one has dolphins. And she also had picked out my Niagara Falls one, which is here, the one that we made. I had made this one after our honeymoon. In case you don't know, Niagara Falls is the place where we honeymoon. So on the way home from Niagara Falls, we stopped at a yard shop in Pennsylvania, and I bought the yard to make the honeymoon sweater. So she wanted that, but I think they didn't have room in the end, so they left it out. But they had it at the museum the whole year. And then I got back all the sweaters after the show was over. These two in particular, because they were on display in the museum for a year, and I consider them so valuable to me because of that, I don't wear them in Baltimore anymore. I wear them in some other place where I travel to.
Do you have ideas for sweaters right now that you want to make?
Yeah. One of the next ones I want to do is Costa Rica, something in Costa Rica. I was thinking of the Palo Verde Natural Park, which has like a few rivers in it, and along the rivers there's all this kinds of interesting vegetation, and there are all kinds of interesting animals. The most spectacular ones are the monkeys, and I have done other sweaters with monkeys, but these monkeys are really spectacular. There are crocodiles too, and I've done some sweaters with palm trees and other tropical scenery, but like this one I would do different and not look like those, because really Costa Rica looks different from other tropical places I've been to. And I want each sweater to look different. But the one I'm working on right now is the Dead Sea region, the Jordan Valley. It has the road that runs along this. It's this really beautiful winding road. It's actually, I read somewhere, this is the lowest road in the world. It's called Highway 90, and on one side of it is either the Dead Sea, or if you go farther up, the Jordan River, and on the other side, there's just these desert mountains with minimal bits of vegetation, and a few palm trees every now and then, and that's the one I'm working on now.
I'd like to ask you one question. You work mainly from memory. You don't have a pattern. It happens to you sometimes you will start the work and you will not perform as you expected. Maybe you will destroy it and you will start again.
In fact, there are a few sweaters that I've been unhappy with the outcomes of them, and I've torn them apart and did them over again. Like, one example of that was one that's not here now. It's one I did of Cape Cod, and the first time I did it, it looked awful, so I did it all over again from scratch. There's this one over here, which at first it didn't look very good. It got some damage to it too, so this one I did it all over again, except for the sleeves. There have been times when I go back a row, and then there are times that I just live with it the way it is, like the castle one that you saw. Like, it wasn't very good, but I figure I could do better next time. And the sweaters that I do that don't look very good, I end up wearing them more often, because the ones that are really good, I save them mostly for special occasions when I really want to impress other people. And the ones that don't look very good, I wear on the common every day when I'm doing nothing really spectacular.
You say you want to impress other people, but also you have to impress yourself.